If you haven't seen the previous episode, we dig this car out of the woods, and this is the first clip where I start inspecting it. Alright, we've made it to the car. Seats look approximately like they did back when I parked it. Floorboards are pretty decent. Not seeing any rust. I got gauge cluster there. 2 gauge clusters back here. It's a time capsule. Some toe chains. We'll keep raking pine needles off. I think our cowl might be our biggest issue. Hopefully not. Alright, I've had a day or two. I've had a chance to clean up the car. I haven't really gone through the car yet. We're going to do that here in a little bit. But I have gone back to, I've got a storage connex at my parents' property where the car was stored at. And I've been able to find quite a few parts. I've already put the gray interior seats in there. They're in better shape than the seats that came with this car. I've owned 2 other Supras prior to this one. So I've already got a collection of the best parts from each car. Got the interior door panels. I've got both front seats and rear seats, I believe, are all available. There's a console that came out of this car. There's a lot of parts the guy painted, not even with the interior dye, he just painted them black. I've got a console. I've got a lot of the lights and trim that's in better shape than the trim currently on the car. So there's a clear rubber on that trim, and this only has a smaller strip of the clear rubber, and this hasn't been exposed to daylight in the last 18 years. It's been stored in that box. So as you can see, this is in rough shape. Hopefully I have the whole set of trim, but I've got a good chunk of the trim between this box and several of the other boxes here. I also have the non-turbo distributor, also a spare thermostat housing on these cars. They're prior to OBD computer, so there's 3 water temperature sensors on this side of the thermostat, and an additional 2 on that side of the thermostat, as well as there's ports for water to flow through, and then a water temperature actuated, I guess, vacuum or boost controller there. It's quite a mess. This is just a spare. There's already one on this engine. Not sure what setup I used there, but I'm pretty sure at this point I would prefer to replace each of the sensors. Not going to use the factory ECU most likely, because this is prior to OBD. And there's some aftermarket ECUs you could plug into there and still tune them, but I'm thinking it's probably, I was already aiming to put a Mega Squirt or some sort of standalone ECU to operate this engine. I even contemplated converting it to propane and run it on propane. What else do we have in the goodie box here? This would be the Japanese spec taillight lenses. And somewhere I even have the middle panel that it would actually serve to be for the license plate. I believe these take up more of the room and narrow, or do something different with the license plate panel. I think what I would have to do is probably, because I still need to use a US license plate, I would probably have to make a custom panel in the middle to hold the US license plate. Hold Army towels. So some of this stuff is not going to go in the car or on the car right away. I just don't deem it necessary to get the car running and driving, especially for, say, like the no-name nationals. But I do have the parts. So we'll set that aside. I haven't opened this box, and I haven't opened it, so I don't know what's in it, other than it says it's a console and interior parts. Oh, that is a complete console. came out of a very nice condition Supra that I had in Germany. All right, so this is the dash piece where your gauge cluster would go. I'll set that aside. And that is a complete console. It's got your driver's side seat controls as well as the mirror controls. It's flaking a little bit. I'll set that there for now. And okay, this is the bulb assembly probably for those taillights. So we'll set that aside. And a little bit of air that's been contained for probably since I shipped this stuff from overseas, because these parts came from a car in Germany. So this is in pretty good shape compared to the other one even. That together. And there we go. I've already talked about the door panels. It has a gauge cluster in the dash. There's a secondary gauge cluster. Corner trim, it even says 3.0 turbo, Toyota Supra. I believe that's off the gray Supra from Germany. Oh, we have a lightweight aluminum flywheel. Still box, it's never been installed. Set that aside. I'm thinking this is the trim that goes below the glove box on the passenger side. Alright. And this is another gauge cluster that has been converted to an Indiglo. Instead of being black, there's an Indiglo face that goes on that you put on there first. And it looks like I even printed some custom logos there. It needs wiped down and cleaned up a little bit. These cars, that's part of the Indiglo system. These cars were kind of a luxury sports car at their time. So they have a lot of extra features. Powered seats for the driver. What's another feature? I really like the AC controller. You could actually set the temperature you wanted, and the AC controller would provide you that temperature blowing out of the dash. And what really drives me crazy is some of the work trucks I get these days. You just have a knob and it doesn't, you know, it might cool down, it might heat up, whatever, it just kind of goes wherever it wants to. With this car, it actually set the temperature, and this was 1989. So it drives me crazy when a modern automaker doesn't give you the same controls that we got in a nice car in 1989. So, you know, you be the judge there, but kind of drives me crazy. Some 10mm black copper cabling. 2.5, I guess. Some sort of exhaust pipe. You know what? This wasn't an exhaust pipe. I was using it for intercooler piping. I did do a whole bunch of plumbing there. I think from the turbo back is all 3-inch stainless, or mostly stainless. That's probably literally an ashtray. Struts, I believe those go to the rear hatch. Hopefully they're in better shape than the ones on the rear hatch, but right now I haven't been able to open the rear hatch yet. For some reason the cable here is not releasing it, and the key from the ignition is not releasing it. So maybe I have another Toyota key that will fit it, I don't know. Or maybe we'll have to clean everything out and crawl through and see if we can release it from the inside. So let's keep digging. Floor mats. Well, say floor mat, this one's got a pocket in it. Okay. Now that looks the rear floor mat, and it does have a pocket. I don't know what that's for. And that would be a front floor mat. Front floor mat. Another rear floor mat. Not in real fantastic jack bag or tool bag for the car. Like I said, not real cool bag. We have 4-way mud wrench, a normal wrench. I don't know if this is ducting for under the hood or ducting for maybe the AC in front, in the car. This is a jack that goes for a pinch weld, and maybe for this car, I don't know. Appears to be in good shape. We'll set that aside. Don't need that to go fast. We might need that to get the tires changed out. Okay, the battery tied in. Maybe part of the steering column. Okay, here's an additional harness for the mirror control. I don't know which vehicle this came from. I don't know if it came from this one or not. Got a boost gauge, mechanical boost gauge, I believe. No? Yeah, this is mechanical. You would just hook a hose to it. And it's power, so it would light up and stuff. I'm sure it's Indiglo as well. Indiglo was quite popular at the time. Alright. Clutch tool. Some sort of kind of an LED or fluorescent light. They're little bitty guys. There's a switch and a controller. We'll set that aside. Probably won't be installing it. You know, a little phrase that can tell you what it is, but I didn't have to kill you. Not quite that extreme, but it doesn't belong to this car. It might belong to an aircraft. All right, we have a really rough shape K&N style air cleaner and an adapter so it can go to, I don't even think it was a mass airflow sensor, it's whatever airflow sensor that the Supras used at the time. I'll have to look it up, or maybe you guys can look it up and correct me in the comments. Okay, I think this is the passenger side kick panel, maybe. Looks like it goes in the door jamb, and then your, as a passenger side, that'd be your right foot would go there. I don't know. Again, it's black. I don't know if it's to this car or to a different car. May have been gray at one time. Black's not too bad. Black and gray I think will still go together as I can put this car back together with whatever pieces I have left. Like I said, there was a lot of black parts that came with the car. He painted some parts black. I didn't care for that. He did a really shitty job. He did a really interesting job with the dash, which was already cracked. He took the same material that he made the headliner, some sort of really super fuzzy stuff, and glued that to the dash. I think I'd rather clean it, sand it down, body fill it, lay some fiberglass or something else over it, and, you know, make it at least a proper fiberglass piece, because I know how to work with fiberglass. But anyway, let's get it in here, see what else we have. Hemp rope has no use to the way. This is kind of a 50-50. This would probably be the passenger side of the rear seat. The seat had the base of it sitting in here pretty nicely. And this panel looks like it goes back there next to the back seats. Again, this part's painted, was originally gray. I don't know why somebody would take something gray and paint it black, especially with spray paint and not interior dye, but just black spray paint. So, not happy about that. Trying to get to the part where I can get to the open the back. All right, this appears to be for the front grille, and these are the doors, door panel trim. I think that part's just a glue or adhesive. Kind of misshapen from where they've been sitting. I think once you glue them to the door, they'll be flattened out. Alright, these aren't in fantastic shape. Okay, those are rust stains from these laying on each other. I think those are the equivalent to the door card inserts, but for the back panels back here. Again, may or may not get used. The other ones are black. The other ones were a vinyl instead of the velour. These would need some deep cleaning before we can use them anyway. Oh boy. Storage has not been good to this. This is the driver's side rear upright for the seat. And maybe we can, yeah, we might be able to vacuum that clean because those pieces were sitting on it. So, in the event we use a rear seat, we'll clean that up. I believe this is the panel that goes below the steering column. Maybe heater ducting. And this is one of the two things I'm seeing potential rodent damage. This is the speaker cover for the driver's side door. Okay, this is the surround for the dash, and this is the glove box. I actually have a glove box that's in gray, probably approximately the same condition, or maybe better. Set that aside. So a lot of these parts, interior parts right now, I'm actually going to be putting them in my shop or storage unit. Setting aside because right now I don't need to worry about the interior, I don't need to worry about the engine, but we're shoveling stuff out of the car. I feel that maybe storing the stuff there might be better than storing it in the hot sun in the car. Some of the parts have already suffered their damage, but we'll get them out of the sun and put them inside. Okay. Stainless tubing. And this is 2.5. So that's 2.5 inch stainless tubing. This appears to be another one of the dash pieces. This is broken. We already discovered we have another one there, so we'll probably just throw that in the way. Okay, here's an interesting piece. Appears I have not attempted to even use it. That would be stainless cover for this piece. Stainless space for that. So interesting. For the speed hut. Oh goodness. This bears the name of the guy that I bought my first Supra from. So I didn't order this part, he did. I believe he also did the indiglo piece there, but I liked that enough to use it. I think this is one of the back pieces where you'd stow the jack in the back trunk area. And we're digging into the trunk area because I'm trying to actually make access to where I can see about opening the rear hatch. All right, another ashtray. We got two there. Okay, we found some more rodent damage. All right, here's some sun visors. Those look like they could be cleaned. And I think rear quarter trim back here, driver's side. And okay, this would be driver's side door handle slash switches, and it does have some rodent damage. We also have problems. We couldn't get the window to roll down previously with the black door handle. So we might be stealing the switches out of there. We'll see what we can do to salvage this thing. All right, there's some drilled and slotted rotors. I believe they're the rears. Some other trim pieces in a box back there with probably some camshafts in it, and it does have some rodent damage. We're going to go ahead and stop the camera for now and see about getting the trunk open.